Hey everyone, my name is Charles Fratantoni, your local real estate expert here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And today we're breaking down the latest numbers and trends in the real estate market that you need to know right now. Now, whether you're thinking of buying, selling, or just keeping an eye on your biggest and most important investment, this market update will give you the insight you need to stay ahead. We'll cover current home prices, inventory levels, buyer and seller activity, and what the data means for your next move. If you want to stay on top of the market each month, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know if you think it's a buyer or seller's market right now. We get our data from the Cromford Market Report, which is a highly respected real estate market analytics service focused on the greater Phoenix area, including Maricopa and Pinal counties. It provides real-time, hyper-local housing data used by realtors, investors, lenders, and analysts to understand and predict market trends. The Cromford Market Index, or CMI, is a proprietary real estate indicator created by the Cromford Report to measure the balance of supply and demand in the greater Phoenix housing market. It's widely used by agents, brokers, and investors to assess whether the market favors buyers, sellers, or is balanced. Now, if Cromford reports a number of 110 or above, it indicates a seller's market where demand is high relative to supply and prices are rising. If the number is 90 to 110, it indicates a balanced market where supply and demand are relatively even. If the number is 90 or less, it indicates a buyer's market where supply exceeds demand and prices are under pressure. Now, if the number is exactly at 100, that is a purely neutral market, exactly balanced and pretty rare. We'll start with the numbers for the area that Arizona Regional Multiple Listing Service covers, which includes Maricopa County and the majority of Pinal County and a small part of Yavapai County. This will give us a broad overview of the larger market. Then we'll drill down to our 17 biggest individual cities and we'll tell you who's selling and who isn't, and who's in a buyer's market and who's in a seller's market. Let's dive in. There are currently 23,894 active listings in the greater Phoenix metro area. That's up 324 listings from last month, which is pretty much flat. But to put it in context, it's up 28% from last year's 18,705 active listings. That is a big increase. This number does not include listings that are currently under contract. Now, while we might ascribe the increase in listings to the small drop in interest rates, the number of new listings might be larger if you take into consideration the number of active listings that were canceled by frustrated homeowners that are now replaced with new listings. Data shows that canceled listings are up 42% from a year ago. That's big. Now, in the greater Phoenix metro area, there is currently a 3.9-month supply of houses for sale. That means if no additional houses came on the market, it would take 3.9 months to sell off what is currently listed for sale. Now, that's only 0.1% from 30 days ago, which is basically flat. There are currently 4,200 pending listings, meaning listings under contract where most, if not all, contingencies have been met. Contingencies like home inspection completed and repairs and credits agreed upon, written financing approved, etc. There are 7,273 listings under contract. We've sold 6,132 houses in the last 30 days, and that's pretty much flat from last month's sales of 6,249 homes. This month's average days on market is 85 days, up 2 days from last month's 83 days on market. The listing success rate, which is how many houses listed for sale actually sell, is 68%, and that's up from last month's 63.2% and down from last quarter's 73.1%. That's a sad number. Only 6.8 houses out of 10 listed sold. So, Mr. Charlie, are there any positive numbers to report? Well, I'm glad you asked. The average sales price versus percent of listing price is up, meaning the final sales price for houses this month held steady at 97.25% of the asking price, which is barely better than last month's 97.23%, but it's still up and we'll take it. Also, our sales per year are up to 72,872 to date, over last month's 72,622. Now, as challenging as this sounds, not all cities are suffering. We discussed the Cromford Market Index earlier, where a city score of 110 or above indicates a seller's market, 90 to 110 a relatively balanced market, and a number of 90 or less indicates a buyer's market. The Cromford Report gives the greater Phoenix metro area a number of 80.6, which is up almost 5 points from last month's 75.3. Now, having said that, it still indicates a relatively strong buyer's market. So if you're buying, things are looking good. Now this number covers quite a large area, but that's just the average of all 17 of the Valley's largest cities. Not all cities in the greater Phoenix area reflect this same number individually. Now, in my last market update, there were only 4 cities that showed they were in a seller's market, and they were Glendale, Fountain Hills, Chandler, and Paradise Valley, which had a whopping 171.8 Cromford score. Today's Cromford report now shows that 10 of the Valley's 17 largest cities have become sellers markets based on the Cromford number. Added to the list are Scottsdale, Cave Creek, Gilbert, Phoenix, Mesa, and Avondale. And here are the top 4. Number 4 is Chandler with a CMI of 127.1. It's up 10% from last month's 115.8 score. Chandler has 498 active listings with 176 pending listings and 374 listings under contract. The average square foot of a sold home in Chandler is $2,278, and the average monthly sales price of a Chandler home is $580,000. Chandler home sellers are getting an average of 97.54% of their asking price, and their listing success rate is 74%, which is above the greater Phoenix metro average. Number 3 is Scottsdale with a CMI of 130. It's up a whopping 25% from last month's score of 103.8. Scottsdale has 1,121 active listings with 176 pending listings and 374 listings under contract. The average square foot of sold houses in Scottsdale is 2,885 square feet, and the average monthly sales price of a Scottsdale home is $1,048,500. Scottsdale home sellers are getting an average of 95.23% of their asking price. Scottsdale has a listing success rate of 62%, which is below the 68% average rate, but a nice jump up from last month's 50.9%. Number 2 is Fountain Hills with a CMI of 150.2. It's up huge, 31% from last month's 115.1 score. Fountain Hills has 114 active listings with 13 pending and 34 listings under contract. The average square foot of sold houses in Fountain Hills is $2,847, and the average monthly sales price of a Fountain Hills home is $842,500. Fountain Hills home sellers are getting an average of 96.4% of their asking price. Fountain Hills listing success rate, 57.1%. That's well below the Phoenix metro average. And number 1 is the king of the luxury market again, Paradise Valley, with a whopping 178.2 CMI score, though that score is down 7% from last month's score of 192.10. Paradise Valley has 111 active listings with 11 pending and 23 listings under contract. The average square foot of sold houses in Paradise Valley is 4,967 square feet, and the average monthly sale price of a Paradise Valley home is $3,562,500. Paradise Valley homes are getting an average of 91.68% of their asking price. Now on the downside, only 46.2% of their listings are actually selling. But on the upside, that number is up 5% from last month's dismal 41.7%. It's still well below the Phoenix metro average of 61.2%. Well folks, those are the highs, but what about the lows? Here are the 4 areas currently at the bottom of the list in the Phoenix metro area. It makes sense that these areas are the farthest eastern and western suburbs of the Phoenix metro area. Still at number 4 is the town of Surprise with a CMI of 68.8. It's actually up 13% from last month's 61.1 score. Surprise has 1,100 active listings with 261 pending listings and 368 listings under contract. The average square foot of sold houses in Surprise is $2,051, and the average monthly sales price of a Surprise home is down at $425,000. Surprise home sellers are getting an average of 98.96 of their asking price. Surprise's listing success rate is 69.3%, barely above the average. And still holding on to number 3 is Queen Creek with a CMI of 63.5. That's up 3% from last month's 61.5 score. Queen Creek has 1,201 active listings with 316 pending listings and 475 listings under contract. The average square foot of houses sold in Queen Creek is 2,388, and the average monthly sales price is $494,995. Queen Creek home sellers are getting an average of 98.52% of their asking price, and their listing success rate is up 7% to 77.5%, which is above the Phoenix metro average. Last month's worst performing town was Buckeye, but it has moved up one spot to number 2 with a CMI of 51.2%, which is up 1% from its 50.6 CMI last month. Buckeye has 850 active listings with 207 pending listings and 302 listings under contract. The average square foot of houses sold in Buckeye is 2,002, and the average monthly sales price is $399,999. Buckeye's home sellers are getting an average of 98.98% of their asking price, and their listing success rate is down 3% to 67%, just below the Phoenix metro average. And at the bottom, bringing up the rear, so to speak, down from number 2 last month, the new worst performing area is Maricopa, Arizona in the Southwest Valley. It has a dismal CMI score of 47.7, which is down 3% in the last 30 days. Maricopa has 745 active listings with 115 pending listings and 183 listings under contract. The average square foot of houses sold in Maricopa is 2,079, and the average monthly sale price is $349,945. Maricopa home sellers are getting an average of 99.19% of their asking price, and their listing success rate is 64.3%, 3.7% lower than the Phoenix metro average. Well, there you have a snapshot of the very current real estate market in the greater Phoenix metro area. This info can give you some insights and help us write the offer or set the sales price with the best chance of success based on the current data. The Cromford Report is the most comprehensive and detailed information out there, and we can actually drill down to your specific zip code for this type of data. So if you're curious about how your specific area is performing, reach out or drop us a comment and I'll get that info right over. Before you click away, let me share this with you. I've been helping people buy and sell homes across the entire Phoenix metro area for more than 16 years. And as you can see from my 18 Phoenix Metro City vlog tours, I've gone in depth from Scottsdale to Chandler, Glendale to Gilbert, and everywhere in between. That means when you're ready to make a move, you're not just getting someone who knows the contracts, you're getting someone who knows the neighborhoods, the schools, the lifestyle, and the little details that make the difference between just buying a house and finding the right home. So if you've been thinking about buying, selling, or even if you just have questions about what's really happening in today's market, reach out to me. You can call, text, or email me anytime. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video on the Phoenix real estate market. This is Charles Fratantoni with HomeSmart. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.